Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Just kind of an update today. Can't really do much work out here. I'm in the bowl, as you can see, and the neighbor across the way on the other side of the road is having a get-together at his house this afternoon, and I'm trying to keep the noise down to a minimum. I figure I won't ravage Mother Nature too bad by converting diesel fuel into dust and smoke. So it's killing me not to be out here working, so I'm making a video giving you guys a little bit of an update on the channel, a little bit of an update on the field clearing project. Recording on a brand new camera. Give you a shot of it real quick. Here it is, quick view. GoPro Hero 7 Black. Should be a considerable upgrade. And I decided it's time to upgrade for two reasons. First reason being the old Hero 4, which has been an excellent camera. It's the only one I've ever used on YouTube here. I've got a little over 7,500 video files through this thing already, but I noticed that the audio is starting to suffer, kind of the quality of what it would pick up. I first noticed it when I was on the D2 dozing up those topsoil piles over there. Once the noise level would get above a certain decibel rating, the speaker would start to crackle. And like I said, when I played that footage back, I could hear it when the engine was under full load, and it almost sounded like the engine was sputtering when I played it back. And I never detected that with my own ears in real life. And since then, it's gotten progressively worse. As I've done walk-arounds, I've been able to tell that crackle's coming in even when I talk. So the old Hero 4 still captures good video. It's just that the audio is starting to suffer. So I'll keep it around, maybe to put it in some more precarious places coming up in the future here. It will be handy having more than one camera. But for most of my filming, I'm going to use the new 7 Black. And second reason I chose to upgrade was the Hero 7 is supposed to have a lot better image stabilization, so things aren't going to jump around quite as bad. And I've had a couple guys say that, you know, if they have balance issues or are prone to nausea from, you know, jarring images, that it's been kind of bothering them. So I'm hoping this new Hero 7 Black is going to kind of quell that a little bit. So like I said, the old Hero 4, it's been a good old standby, but it's going to have to go back to second place. So as far as the work update out here, since I can't do any real activity today, you'll notice that a lot of those small popples that used to be right along the edge of where I'd been building here have been cleared away. Now the neighbor decided that he wanted to have some firewood, and he didn't mind taking those smaller trees, and I didn't mind letting him take those smaller trees, so he came in and cut probably 3/4 of them out of here, which was fine with me. I've been catching some flack from some people in the comments section, which will happen on YouTube, that don't like the fact that I'm out here doing any work or disturbing any bushes or brush, or should have left it habitat, blah blah blah, you're ruining it. Well, you know, these popples are basically an invasive species in this part of the country. They're like one step below kudzu, okay? Anytime you do anything out here, popples are going to spring up in mass. Now, I've been doing everything I can to save these bur oaks over here. I really like them. There's some hardwood maple back there. That big clump of basswood is excellent, throws some awesome shade. And honestly, for the building I want to put out here, it is in my way 8 ways from Sunday, but I'm trying to leave it alone and not disturb the roots. Same as these, I'm trying to keep the ground disturbance to a minimum. I'm not out here just to slash and burn, but this popple is really some pretty low quality stuff, and it's kind of like the weeds of the woods. And to give you an example, when I bought this land, 2007, 08, around in there, none of these popples were in here, even all the ones that we cut out. This looked just like the old growth stuff back there, but the guy that had this place before me had some popples thinned out here. He did like a select cut before he sold it, and all of these have sprung up where their top piles used to be. You can see we have down here some old trunks. You can see some of these have some awfully flat cut lines on them. This is where a slash pile, or like a topping pile, used to be when those guys were out here doing that logging. And it goes all the way back in through here. See a bunch more of the old ones back in there, all covered in moss. All these popples have sprung up at just that amount of time. And you know, this stuff, the way popples work, when you disturb the ground, any roots that are in the ground are going to start shooting up runners almost immediately, and it gets so thick in here you can't walk through it, let alone see through. And as these get bigger, they're going to crowd out the smaller ones and basically self-thin, which is what these are starting to do now. We'll come over here. You can see here's a top from one that didn't quite make it. It's getting choked out. Here's another one right here. You can pretty much just break it off. There's nothing to it. That's what this is doing. So in about 5 years time, probably 3/4 of these would be just dead and gone anyway, just naturally. So basically I'm just kind of speeding the process a little bit. And back on the topic of, you know, destroying wildlife and permanently scarring the earth and, you know, destroying habitat and all that stuff. What a lot of people don't realize is when you're out this far where I am, you're existing with the wildlife, not in spite of it. They're still out here just like they always used to be. It goes on unabated. And like I said, I'm not out here just to slash and burn. There's a method, there's a purpose behind everything I do. But here's an example for you. You can see all of the deer tracks that are in here underneath these little bur oaks that I cleared up to. I mean, they've just been, there's tracks on top of tracks and more tracks. What they're doing is they are loving life right now because they have such easy access to all these acorns that these bur oaks are dropping this time of year. They don't have to come in here and root through grass and underbrush and everything. It's like a buffet for them right on top of the ground, and they are just loving life right now. And if that still isn't enough for you, you know, just think of how much carbon dioxide my 50 acres displaces on its own every year. And then you consider in all the natural growth, the natural regen, everything that still goes on out here, in addition to the trees that I plant. And yes, I do plant trees. You've seen a couple instances of it just kind of in passing on other videos, and I'll probably be planting new trees out here and of species that I am more fond of or are of higher quality. You might see that when it happens, but you got to make a mess before you can make it better. Long story short, you know, you consider what my 50 acres does for the environment and compare that to the paved, hard surfaced urban jungle where nothing's green, everything's artificial, and you know, how much carbon dioxide does a little townhouse apartment displace, or even a home on a massive 1/2 acre? I think Mother Nature still loves me more. So basically, long story short, I will sacrifice any amount of spindly kind of low quality popples to try and save nice bur oaks and maples and nice basswood clumps like that. So this is where that wood line used to go, right here. I've cleared back in away from my access road, and I've even cleared a little bit of an extra spot along the curve right there, give me a little more room. And I have stripped about 40 feet in right now. I got the Iron Mistress parked up there. She's got a new little spot to hide. And yesterday I was in here doing some dozing before I stripped this last little bit. And I tell you what, I should have had the GoPro out because that thing, she was running good, it was sounding crisp, and I pushed a lot of that debris down into there. You can see what I mean by debris. Lots of old roots from those popple trees in there, all kinds of trashy stuff. It's stuff you got to get out of here if you're going to do anything. And I gave myself about another 40 feet this way. I can blend this into where I filled, and it's going to give me a lot more room to hopefully spare all these nicer trees that I like up here. But I had the D2 out. You can see my tracks. And we did some pushing way down in here, and I'm planning on doing a how to operate a Caterpillar D2 video here, hopefully tomorrow. I figure those piles that I have to push in down in here are going to give me an excellent opportunity to kind of explain what I'm doing on the controls and what all the controls do. It'll be good for demonstration, but I've been pushing that stuff down in here. It's just kind of a flatland clearing. None of it's low. The low areas are well back in there. I'm leaving those alone. You don't want to fill in wetlands, but this was just kind of a little bare knob, and I'm just taking all that trash and just building it up a little bit. Really didn't have to take out any trees or damage anything to do it. So, like I say, I kind of wanted to have the camera out yesterday because it was going so well, but at the same time, you just need to get things done from time to time, and yesterday was just a day of productivity. So anyway, with the clearing I've done here and the area that I've opened up back in there, with minimal reshaping here, I'll be able to solve 100% of my drainage problems for everything that comes down the road and the hill behind me, and I'll have a sure shot to get it straight down in there, send it right down to that swampy area. So the only other place I'd have to worry about is on the other side of the H over there, and I have a plan for that. But this video is kind of about testing out a new camera. I want to make sure it's going to work with my editing software and that its files are going to agree with the files that come from the old Hero 4, you know, and all that. Like I say, I'm hoping that image stabilization in this new Hero 7 does the trick, and it will be nice for like ride-along videos when I'm on the D2. Hopefully things aren't going to bounce around quite so bad, and I'm hoping the audio quality is going to be improved also. So I think that about covers it. Oh, I do have about 3 other walk-around videos on the old camera yet that I'm going to upload. So if you guys notice any kind of audio problems, any of that crackling that I've been picking up on, it's just because of that. Once I get those files off in the old camera, I'll be using the new Hero 7 almost exclusively. So if you notice anything, just please bear with me. It will get better with time. And thanks for watching, guys. Like I say, how to operate a D2 video is coming soon. At least I have every intention of it, and I think getting those piles out of there will be a good opportunity to show how to drive one of these things. So tune in again for that. Thanks for watching.